Case 1. You are the first presenter early in the morning. Case 1. It's the practical AM maiden mess. People are more interested in scoring their favorite Donald than they are in talking her said. Tearing the sleeping, fucking brained and saying distracted. Type of audience. Morning. People are more interested in going to dumb important topics of the day, like the weather events that were say during the night before, morning lectures, etc. 30 hours sleeping, they have clouded brains and are highly distracted. How to have a successful audience? There is no doubt. The success of a presentation depends to the great extent on the way you expose its content, your talent, and your ability to entertain it and involve the audience play a decided role, as well as the use of the established time. Especially in those people who may have waiting to be able to say the news of the day, to know if the day will be pleasant or to look for some news that happens in the world. Tips. Number 1. Study your audience. Number 2. Use the rule of 3. Number 3. Interact with the public. Number 4. Be clear and fluid. Number 5. Be confident in what you want to convey. Number 6. Try to convey emotion. Number 7. Try to write using that interactive the public. Number 2, it's very important because the human brain can only keep the attention on a limited number of topics. Don't expose yourself to lose the attention of your audience. Recommendation. Communication is an important factor in your life, especially if we want to make the news known to the audience. Reporters aim to be able to provide accurate and relevant information. Morning communication is a difficult thing to convey as people just get up and already know it's turning lacking incorrect thoughts. However, the main objective is to be fluent in what you will say as well as to be able to convey your emotion so that the person can stay with that great satisfaction and be able to continue watching the programs or news.
Hi teacher, I will tell you about the case 3. And the case 3 is surprise you have less time than you plan for. It's a problem. Okay? Okay, the case. Some of the other presenters last more than expected, cutting into the time you have to present. The result, you got stressed out and you want to talk fast, but no one in your audience won't learn a thing. Okay. Okay, the type of audience. The type of audience is mainly unfavorable, since despite having no knowledge of the topic, they may have a high expectation of the presentation. Because the time of presentation was reduced, you have to expose the subject in a fast, clear, and concise way, as well as try to modulate the tone of your voice and body gestures. Okay? And what to do to make a successful presentation? Okay, I think that you have to remember that you have the against you, and the presentations can be very saturated. Therefore, you can take into account the following points. The first one is you know your audience. You can get to know your audience with quick questions such as whether they belong to the same organization or what knowledge they have of the topic. And this is in order to be able to direct your speech more quickly. Okay, the second one is be clear. Okay, focus on the main ideas and avoid wasting time in explaining specific and unnecessary details. Maybe some details are interesting for people who know most about the topic, but try to focus on those who have less or no knowledge so you can impact more people and fulfill the objective of making your point of view known. Okay, the third one, more image, less text. This is important. Okay, occupy your graphic content to make the information more understandable in a fast way. Making a speech based in a presentation full of information will only confuse your audience between what you say and what they see and will lose the interest of the audience. Okay, the fourth one, show a good attitude. And this is very important too. Remember that a part of the audience may not like your presentation or may not be interested in it. Pay attention to those who are interested and act in a relaxed manner, taking care of your involuntary movements of the hands and the tone of voice. If you are nervous or stressed out, you will not get serious in your speech. Okay, lately, benefits of having the habits of highly effective speakers. I consider 4 points based on the information in Canvas and okay, say taking into account the habits of highly effective speakers for a quick presentation, as in this case, can have the following benefits. Okay, better control of your audience based on interpersonal communication, the 3B, visual, verbal, and vocal, is about the delivery techniques. After better explanation of answer to detailed questions about the topic, based in handle questions and answer tactfully. Okay, the other is be concise with the topic if you know the objective of the speech and what elements you will have from the moment of this initial approach. This is the PAL and better reaction to unexpected situations. The practice of your topic, of your way to do a speech. And okay, that's all of the case 3. And thank you for the attention.
Hi everyone. Okay, I'm going to speak about the case number 3. This case says some of the other presenters last more than expected, cutting into the time you must present the result. You got stressed out and you want to talk fast, but no one in your audience will learn a thing. Okay, I think that the type of audience is the has low knowledge of the topic because it says that if I explain very fast, they won't get the point. And I think they might be adults or at least teenagers because I understand that they are people that are capable of understand a topic in a presentation. So they might be students or they can be professional people. Okay. And what to do? Well, I think that they could explain directly with an example. I mean, at the time they are processing the information, they will try to imagine a case of application so they can understand better what you are saying and a real case, for example. Use the relevant multimedia content because sometimes we bring videos and we make graphics and many other images and multimedia that maybe is not that important to understand the topic, but we can omit them. We can omit them. So if we don't present it, or at least we don't use it, the people still will get the point of the topic. They still will understand what you are saying. And for the last, I think that the feedback will wait until the end of the presentation. So most of the time will be in the explanation and not with the doubts that we could have. Okay, we continue. So, who, what, and why? I think that the presenter have to provide information summarized and objectively, so the audience will understand it very fast, and the audience has to listen carefully, obviously, and make questions until the end, as I have already said. Why? That for the presenter, to achieve the point of the topic on time, and the audience use as much time as we could for the explanation. I think I'm saying this two times, but it's important to get to the idea that the even more the explanation we get, we could understand better, and at the end, every question someone asks, maybe many people will get it at the same time. Okay. The benefits of highlight effective speakers. In this case, I think it's the unexpected doesn't mean a problem because if we can make a presentation complete and clearly, even though not everything went as expected, it's a success. It means that it wasn't a problem to get the achievement that we had to make. Okay. Also, greater achievement of goals in presentation. If we are more efficient, if we can do an achievement in less time, we are greater presenters. Okay, and more comfortable audience because we as people as audience we are more comfortable with a presenter who explain as comfortable as great as easy that we can understand the topic with less time with less problematic examples.
Case 4. You have bad news to deliver. The case says if your presentation is bad news, you only evoke more anger and confusion if you seem like you are sugarcoating the problem or being less than honest. There may be a lot of hard questions asked by users and confused people. Knowing this, we define the type of audience we are making for. In this case, the kind of audience is in where because they didn't have any ideas and any information about this new. So basically the three questions, who, what, and why, we create four steps for making a successful presentation, in this case, for explaining about new. The first one, social capital, is like people look at us. For example, in this case that we are talking about with a stranger, social capital can be achieved by with a smiling, with a friendship attitude, etc. The point is that we make a confident environment between us and the audience. Then the context. This is important because when we are talking about the bad news, it's important to make the people to understand by what happened before or what are the factors that are involucrating. Considering too the positive aspects that are involucrated because they make the impact less painful. It refers to the non-verbal attitude we can make in the bad news. For example, the language we use, the or expression, etc. In this case, we can be a compassion attitude, and it will bring us a lot of benefits like create a calm environment, and the audience can be calm, and that we can explain that not painful but create a very good atmosphere. And finally, the commitment. That is basically showing the audience that everything is gonna be okay, and we do everything possible to remedy this situation or problem. And here there are so many tips we can use when we are expressing bad news. And finally, the benefits of having habits of highly effective speakers. As we know, there are seven, and there can be a lot of benefits like having a winner thought, like open our mind to another ways to solve a situation, like put the very important things first, etc. etc. And this was my presentation. I hope you like it.